Florida is often celebrated for its endless coastlines and sun-soaked beaches, but hidden within the heart of the state lies another treasure. Springs so clear and blue, they could easily be mistaken for the Caribbean. What makes these waters remarkable isn't just their beauty, but the fact that many remain overlooked, tucked away from the tourist brochures and crowded itineraries. Today, I want to take you beyond the familiar headlines and into those secret corners where nature still whispers. These are springs where sunlight dances across white sandy bottoms, where emerald forests frame every view, and where the water holds steady at a refreshing temperature no matter the season. They aren't the places packed with tour buses or bustling gift shops. They are sanctuaries for those who crave quiet, authenticity, and a glimpse of Florida's most pristine side. On this journey, you'll discover springs that not only dazzle with crystal clarity, but also carry stories of history, wildlife, and even ancient cultures. By the end, you'll realize that you don't need a flight to the Caribbean to find paradise sometimes. It's waiting just a short drive away, hidden in the Sunshine State itself. Far from the crowded beaches and theme parks, near the Georgia border, lies a spring that feels like it belongs in another world. Madison Blue Spring is a hidden jewel tucked into a bend of the Withlacoochee River, and for those willing to make the drive, it rewards with water so clear, it almost seems lit from beneath. The basin stretches wide and deep, an iridescent blue hole where you can see every ripple, every shimmer of light. What makes this spring remarkable is not just its beauty, but its sense of adventure. Beneath the surface lies an extensive cave system, thousands of feet of underwater passages that divers have carefully mapped over the years. While only certified cave divers can enter those passages, even standing on the bank, you can feel the mystery of what lies beneath. For swimmers, snorkelers, and casual visitors, the spring offers a wide platform, picnic tables under the pines, and space to simply float in peace. There's something refreshing about the fact that Madison Blue remains modest. It doesn't overwhelm you with souvenir shops or crowded boardwalks. Instead, it keeps its charm simple. Crisp water, shaded rest areas, and the quiet hum of the forest around you. At just a few dollars per vehicle, it's one of the most affordable ways to experience nature at its purest in Florida. For anyone beginning a spring hopping journey, Madison Blue sets the bar high. Wild, unspoiled, and breathtakingly clear, the kind of place that convinces you paradise doesn't need to be polished to perfection. Traveling south into the heart of the Ocala National Forest, we arrive at a spring that feels like an open-air aquarium. Silver Glen Springs. Unlike the well-known Silver Springs Park that often steals the spotlight, Silver Glen has its own identity, quieter but no less striking. The moment you step onto the shoreline, the water greets you with shades of turquoise and emerald so clear you can watch fish gliding across the sandy floor as if through glass. The basin here is wide, nearly 200 feet across, and ideal for snorkeling. Slide beneath the surface and you'll find yourself surrounded by striped bass, gar, and schools of smaller fish weaving in the current. The clarity is so pristine that every movement below becomes a scene to marvel at. Families bring masks and fins, while photographers can't resist capturing the way sunlight scatters across the bottom. But Silver Glen is more than just a place to swim. A trail just beyond the water leads you to an ancient shell mound, a silent reminder that people have been gathering at this spring for thousands of years. Archaeologists have studied these remnants, piecing together stories of Florida's earliest communities who found life, food, and meaning here long before it became a park. That blend of recreation and history makes Silver Glen unique. It's not only a refreshing escape, but also a living museum carved into the forest. It's accessible, family-friendly, and filled with quiet wonder. Whether you come to float and relax, to snorkel with fish, or to walk among traces of the past, Silver Glen Springs is a destination that offers both beauty and depth in every sense of the word. Leaving the forest behind, we head west toward the Suwannee River, where Fanning Springs waits like a gentle pause in the journey. This is not a spring that overwhelms you with size or spectacle. Instead, it draws you in with calmness, accessibility, and a welcoming atmosphere that makes families return year after year. The water is a dazzling sapphire, holding steady at 72 degrees no matter the season. In winter, when river temperatures drop, gentle manatees sometimes glide into the spring run, turning an ordinary visit into a magical encounter. Imagine standing on the boardwalk and watching these peaceful giants drift beneath the surface, resting in the quiet sanctuary the spring provides. Fanning Springs is designed with comfort in mind. There's a playground for children, a sandy entry where little ones can splash safely, shaded picnic pavilions for gatherings, and trails that wind through stands of cypress and hardwood. It's a place where you can linger all afternoon, moving easily between the water and the forest without ever feeling rushed. What sets Fanning apart is its balance. It is classified as a first magnitude spring, releasing tens of millions of gallons of water daily, yet it remains one of the more approachable and affordable parks in the region. Whether you come on foot, by bike, or by car, Admission is inexpensive, and the reward is a spring that feels spacious yet intimate, a hidden retreat where nature and simplicity meet. Fanning Springs might not appear on every travel guide, but for those who discover it, the experience often feels like stumbling across Florida's softer side. A reminder that beauty doesn't always need to shout to be unforgettable. Deep within the Ocala National Forest lies one of Florida's most atmospheric springs, Juniper Springs. Surrounded by subtropical foliage and shaded hammocks, the spring basin feels like a natural swimming pool carved into the wilderness. The water here shimmers with an otherworldly glow, a steady 72 degrees that cools the body but somehow warms the soul. What makes Juniper Springs truly stand out is its legendary run. The Juniper Run winds nearly 7 miles through narrow creeks and dense forest, a paddler's dream that tests both skill and stamina. Unlike many waterways, this one is strictly motor-free, which means the only sounds you'll hear are the dip of your paddle and the call of birds overhead. It's a route often praised as one of the most pristine and challenging spring runs in the entire country. For the adventurous traveler, it's a chance to disappear into pure Florida wilderness for hours at a time. The spring itself carries echoes of history. A stone mill house, built during the 1932 by the Civilian Conservation Corps, still stands watch beside the water. Its rustic walls tell the story of a time when conservation and hard work were intertwined, and today it remains a symbol of resilience against the backdrop of nature's beauty. Visitors will find more than just water here. Shaded picnic areas, campgrounds, and facilities for those who want to stay overnight and truly sink into the forest atmosphere. It costs a little more than other parks, but the experience justifies every cent. Juniper Springs isn't just about swimming. It's about embarking on a journey, whether down the historic run or into the quiet woods surrounding the basin. For those seeking a spring that blends natural wonder, adventure, and history, Juniper Springs delivers all three in a single stop. Our journey concludes near the town of High Springs, where Gilchrist Blue Springs offers a refreshing reminder that sometimes the simplest places leave the strongest impression. Though it sits close to more famous neighbors, this spring has carved out its own reputation as a sanctuary of calm, an escape where families, solo travelers, and curious explorers can all find something to love. The water here is a luminous electric blue, a clarity that makes every ripple sparkle under the sundae. More than 40 million gallons pour from the main vent each day, feeding into the Santa Fe River and creating a gentle current perfect for floating or drifting in a kayak. Along the banks, you'll find wooden boardwalks, shaded picnic tables, and trails that make it easy to explore the surrounding forest. What sets Gilchrist Blue apart is its accessibility without sacrificing its charm. It was once privately owned, but when the state stepped in to preserve it, the spring was transformed into Florida's newest state park. That decision not only protected its natural beauty, but also made it easier for travelers to experience a piece of Florida that still feels authentic and unspoiled. Here, you can rent a kayak, bring your own gear, or simply step into the water and let the current carry you. Families appreciate the ease of amenities, while adventurers use it as a launching point to explore the Santa Fe River beyond. It may not be the loudest or most famous spring in Florida, but it is in many ways the most approachable, a perfect ending note for any spring hopping adventure. With Gilchrist Blue, our tour of Hidden Springs comes full circle, a mix of beauty, tranquility, and accessibility, proving that the Caribbean colors of Florida's waters are not just dreams, but destinations waiting for those who know where to look. As our journey through Florida's Hidden Springs comes to an end, one truth becomes undeniable. Paradise doesn't always demand a passport. From the wild depth of Madison Blue to the crystalline aquarium of Silver Glen, from the family comfort of Fanning Springs to the adventurous spirit of Juniper, and finally the welcoming glow of Gilchrist Blue, each destination reveals a different side of the Sunshine State. These are not the crowded beaches or the headline theme parks. They are sanctuaries where nature still sings in its purest voice. What strikes me most is how each spring tells a story of ancient cultures who once gathered at these waters, of conservation efforts that saved them from overdevelopment, of manatees finding refuge in the chill of winter. They remind us that Florida's magic is not only in what's advertised, but in what's quietly preserved, waiting for those who take the time to look deeper. So now the choice is yours. Will you dive into the mystery of Madison Blue, snorkel among schools of fish at Silver Glen, float lazily through the Suwannee at Fanning, test your endurance on the legendary Juniper Run, or simply relax in the glow of Gilchrist Blue? Whichever you choose, you won't just be visiting a spring, you'll be stepping into an experience that feels timeless. If this journey sparked your imagination, don't let it end here. Leave a comment and share which spring you'd explore first. Hit that like button if you found new inspiration, and subscribe so you won't miss the next hidden treasure we uncover in Florida. The adventure doesn't stop, and I'd love for you to be part of it.